the Wednesday Night Blitz. Presented by Jura's Pizza Parlor and Sports Bar and Moxie Credit Union.
Welcome to the final episode of Season 2 of the Wednesday Night Blitz. It's high school football from the field to your screen. I'm Frankie Tovar.
And I'm Eddie Ruiz. And I'm sad. It's the last episode, man. Why does it have to end? I love football. Oh, thank you. I love football a lot.
It's a bittersweet moment indeed because the 2014 football season is finished with Pittman and Turlock High eliminated from the postseason. The Pride, they were beat by Napa High on Friday, and Turlock came up just short against Tracy High. And it played out almost identical to that first game as Turlock came up 2 points short after a failed 2-point conversion. Now, Eddie, you were at both games. What do you think the difference was?
Well, the difference is not much, actually. It was still a loss. 2-point conversion that they failed at the end. It was just one of those games where things didn't go right for them. What was it? 5 turnovers for them, man? They look like the Giants from this past weekend against the Niners.
5 turnovers, and the big number is Tracy's with 0 turnovers. Proved to be the difference because, as you know, the team who makes the least mistakes typically wins, especially in a playoff scenario.
All right, so despite Turlock losing, they still had some pretty numbers. Bubba Moreno went 53 yards on the ground, 168 passing, and you know what? 3 touchdowns. Andrew Lopez, 150 all-purpose yards, and you can't forget about Danny Velasquez, 73 all-purpose yards total for him. All right, so Tracy's running back, Nate Jones. This guy was a stud in the second half. He ended up scoring 2 touchdowns at the end of it all, 123 yards. That's not too shabby. And then you take a look at Mike Brown. This guy was grounding and pounding the entire game as well. It looked like he took the load from the start. 84 rushing yards, 83 passing yards for that guy.
That's a well-balanced quarterback attack from Tracy. Turlock started the game on fire as Andrew Lopez takes the opening play 73 yards downfield for the touchdown. Now, Turlock was energized from this play. Unfortunately, it got called back due to a block in the back, but hey, no problem at all. 2 plays later, Bubba Moreno on the read option run takes it 34 yards to score, put Turlock up 7-0, and at this point, they think they're going to steamroll Tracy like it's nobody's business.
Now what the Bulldogs did, you know what? I'm giving it to Danny Velasquez, the sophomore. He's bumping his way inside the red zone. But what happens here? Oh no, the first of 5 turnovers for the Bulldogs, and they can't believe it.
After the mistake, Turlock's defense steps up and they're blanketing the receivers. There's Zach Moore cleaning up the play for a loss, followed by Andy Jennings, who shoots into the backfield and says, no way.
On the ensuing drive on a 4th and 1 critical play, Andrew Lopez can't make his way in there. Oh, and he fumbles for the 2nd turnover of the game. And you know what? They think everything's all good. We're moving the ball down the field. No, again, this time, Jacob, maybe the 3rd turnover, just like that.
The nice little pass from Michael Brown to Jason Nelson with maybe covering, and this ties the game. Turlock had all the momentum, and it was equaled out.
And they're driving it down. No problem. Andrew Lopez, I got a couple yards. I think I'm making my way inside the red zone. Oh, I think I'm going deep. Bubba Moreno. No, picked off. Jacob Alvarado for the 4th turnover of the first half.
Here's number 3, the man who just picked off the ball, taking it all the way down inside Turlock's territory. It leads to more plays downfield and an eventual touchdown from Nate Jones as he leaps over the Turlock defender.
On the first drive of the second half, the Tracy Bulldogs are marching down. 9 plays, 60 yards. They get stopped right there. But you know what? Nate Jones, I think I'm going to the outside. Outside far end. The last touchdown of the game for Tracy.
And Turlock here finally catching a break with a 25-yard bomb downfield to Jacob Maybe. But just as they're gaining hope, the 5th turnover of the night happens. Moreno's pass deflected at the line and intercepted by number 50, Hayden Hall. Man, these Bulldogs are frustrated.
Turlock gets a couple of stops on defense, so you know what? We're moving it downfield. We're getting it into Jennings. I'm throwing it. Bubba Moreno, no problem at all, getting some yards. Finally, right here, look at the pass. 40 yards. This one's deep. It's to Velasquez, the sophomore. No problem at all. An opportunity to go down by 7 at this point. No, what happens? Critical mistake. Bubba Moreno shakes it left. No way.
And with less than 4 minutes left in the game, Turlock's facing a 3rd and 12. What do they do? Hook and ladder from Jeffrey Hines to Lopez, who takes it 76 yards all the way downfield. And at this point, they're 2 points away from a tie. The sideline's going insane. Head coach James Peterson's going insane. The crowd's going insane. After a false start, they get backed up on the two-point conversion try, and you see Moreno rolling to his right, trying to find an opening. He passes it, and it's just short to Velasquez, bounces on the ground. It's no good.
Now, right after this, you know what Tracy says? Yeah, we're running down the clock. Nate Jones doing some of his best running all game long. Oh, and he gets a hit. There was a flag on that play, though, and that kept the drive alive.
And Jones again rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling all the way downfield. And at this point, there's no more hope for Turlock. Victory formation, game's over. They're eliminated.
We put the ball on the ground way too much, turn the ball over. You can't win football games like that. So, you know, the one thing, though, I will say is I'm really proud of my guys, man. I'm proud of the way they fight, their resiliency. You know, our kids kick and scratch and claw and fight, and they fight till the end, man. And I'm very proud football coach right now.
I never played a playoff game before, and I was proud that our team got this close. We've had some bad losses, and they've all been close, and this was just another one of those. We just didn't step it up.
Beginning of the game, we had them a little off balance, and it took them a little while for their defense to settle in. They have a very fast, physical defense that tackles well, and so if you have to run and protect the football consistently against them, and if you don't, it's gonna be a long night.
Tracy did get a lot better. It was a lot harder to push them behind after the line of scrimmage. They held their ground, and the linebackers filled in a lot more, if I remember correctly, than they did last game. So it made running between the tackles a lot harder.
We're graduating roughly 25 seniors, and so we have a 60-man roster prior to that. So I mean, we're returning a lot of guys that played a lot of football, and they're competitive, and about half our starters are returning. So I mean, I think we're in great shape for next season. The guys that we have coming back are quality guys. You know, they get good grades. They work hard in the classroom. They're, good character guys that you want around your program. And we're going to build on that.
Before we move forward with the show, let's recognize our sponsors. Do you like pizza, hot wings, icy cold beverages? Well, if you do, Jura's Pizza Parlor and Sports Bar is the place for you. A Turlock favorite for more than 30 years, Jura's has built its reputation on delicious food. Drop by Jura's during the sports season for special discounts and prices, and if you're a player, wear your uniform for even more discounts.
Moxie Credit Union is committed to the lending needs of the community, offering various toy loans, mortgage loans, auto loans. You need a loan? You need Moxie. Visit their friendly staff at the Turlock branch today.
And any battle that ends with a score of 21-19, you know both teams played well periodically, and Turlock and Tracy is no different. The Bulldogs had a nice offensive attack on the ground and through the air, and their defense was stellar. It just couldn't hold up through those 5 turnovers and all those mistakes.
And Tracy, obviously, they stayed consistent. They played clean. They didn't turn the ball over. And when you don't turn the ball over, you're going to win most of the time, especially when the other turnover has this many turnovers, because that's a lot.
You can't help but think that if Turlock had 1 or 2 less turnovers than what they did, they might have had a chance for the win because they were in position most of the game. Most of the turnovers came when they were marching down and knocking on Tracy's door. And so Turlock loses in their first playoff appearance since 2011. And hey, Turlock hasn't won a playoff game since 2003, so that win is still eluding the Bulldogs. But even though the season's over, you gotta look back at the body of work and you can't help but be impressed. Even though they lost 5 games, those losses came by a combined 13 points. So all those games came down to the wire, could have went either which way.
And when you take a look at both teams, I think Pittman is on the brighter side because they are returning, I believe it's 19 starters from this season, and they did not look too shabby. They were just a young team. That's all it really was for them. Turlock, on the other hand, I don't know. I think they're losing at least half their team. They're losing their starting quarterback, their star receivers. It's going to be a little bit tougher, I believe, for Turlock. Nevertheless, these two teams are always competitive.
On the plus side for the Bulldogs, they do have a strong nucleus on defense coming back, and I hear their JV team this year is really strong, so there should be a fresh crop of players up next year at the varsity level for the Bulldogs. As for us, this marks the end for this season. You won't see our faces anymore. I know it's a sad day for you, but I'm sure you'll get through it. If you miss us, just go back and watch all the old episodes of the Wednesday Night Blitz Season 1 and Season 2. You can find it at TurlockJournal.com, on our YouTube channel, and on our Facebook page. So come and visit us from time to time. And hey, we might even have a special highlight reel, so keep an eye out for that. For the final time this season, this is Eddie Ruiz. I'm Frankie Tovar. Good night.